Shoot it from tradingapples.com. It's 10:04 a.m. It's August 1st, 2011. What I'm looking to get into here is a long position on Apple when it comes down to probably about 392, even 390 if we see it kind of slice through 392. So that's what I'm looking for. There could be a great opportunity there. We can see the average distance of price movement is about the same here, from 388 to 397, and then here from 393 to about 402, and roughly the same distance. So we're kind of extrapolating that same logic to the current price action, which has covered that same distance today, but in the morning there was a lot of volume and kind of moved up, from 390.50 or so to almost 400. So we're waiting for that, and once that happens, we'll definitely be in a long position. Okay, guys, 11:21 a.m. Finally got the slow move down to 392. It's kind of playing around that area. Volume isn't particularly high, although it is relatively high compared to what the stock usually is at this time of day. I'm currently up, a minuscule amount, $75. And like I stated before, we're going to be expecting this to move up to probably 396, possibly even 398 on a really good turn. So we'll keep an eye on it, and I'll keep you posted on it. Okay, guys, back on this 2:28 p.m. It's up about $900. Got really close. Actually, we reached our target of 396, and I'm about to close out of this. All right, got filled. And that was Apple, 300 shares, open price 392.90. Close price 395.82 for $876 profit. I did have to wait pretty much half the day for this to happen, but I'm glad I did. There was a little drop down, you can see here, but it never got below my entry point or even to my entry point, so I just kind of hung on in hopes that the afternoon trading would bring it up, and it did. So that's a nice little gain there. Just one position today, that was the only one I took, and it ended up working out really well. So basically, the reason why I got into that position is because, as I mentioned earlier, you can see that there's these kind of moves here that all measure up the same. We have one here, we have one here, and we also have one here. Now, there's some debate over whether or not there's much of a difference between how far the stock moves down on a regular basis and how far the stock moves up on a regular basis. And but I've found that most of the time those are going to be very similar, if not exactly the same, and it's just the rate of volatility, or the beta, if you will. That's just another way of looking at the beta. So when looking at those different legs or moves or whatever you want to call them in the market, you can look at the distance of those things and also observe the volume that is taking place with those moves, and from that you can kind of extrapolate where it's going to go under what kind of volume. With that same thinking, what happened today is it got up to 400, and obviously 400 and 404 or whatever. This has been a very psychological area, as it is the all-time high of Apple. So when it's approaching this area this morning, it kind of pulls back off of it, pulls all the way back down to 390 basically. So we're talking about a $10 move here, which is consistent with the moves that we've seen in previous days under similar volume. So when it starts to pull back from 400 to 392, we're talking about an $8 move here, and that's where I wanted to go long, and we saw it. It took a little bit, but we did see that touch of 392 or damn near 392. So then, in some of my articles on tradingapples.com, we talk about absorption, and that's one of the main factors in the way that I trade and how I decide to take positions. Is absorption is defined as price movement under a certain amount of volume. So basically, how much price movement does it take to absorb all of the buyers or sellers, given X amount of volume? And the X amount of volume is just the average amount of volume, or near the average amount of volume over the past, few days or few weeks or whatever it is. So I got in just above 392, and it worked out. It rode up. It appeared that the bears were done selling at that point. They had already moved the price as much as they could, and I started to see it turn around a little bit even before I got in. And I got in, and it turned out really well. So that was that. Great trade. It's 232, so I'm not going to be getting in any more positions today. But this week I'll probably get some more in. So thanks for watching. Any comments or questions, just go ahead and leave them below. I'll see you next time.